Midwesterners know there's no one shape or size when it comes to snow. I will discuss the science behind snowflakes in this week's Ask Away. Welcome back to this week's Ask Away. Our question this week comes from Bill Prane. He wants to know, why are some snowflakes larger than others, and how does that snowflake size help us get those higher snowfall totals within any given snowstorm here in the upper Midwest? So we're going to first talk about those 5 main groups of snowflake types. They go from thin plates to needles to hollow columns, and then the more common ones that we do think snowflakes truly look like are those stellar plates and, of course, the dendrites, the more prettier types of snowflakes. Now, the big driver of the formation of these 5 groups is the outside temperature as well as the humidity. When we have temperatures around 25 to 32 degrees, we start getting those thin plates, the needles a little bit lower than that, into those low 20s, around the mid-20s too. Hollow columns going down to the mid-teens to lower 20s. Then, of course, we get towards those stellar plates around 10 to 14 degrees above zero. And then we head to the dendrites, the more picturesque snowflakes. That's around 3 to 10 degrees above zero. Then we go back to the stellar plates around -8 to 3 degrees. Then, of course, the hollow columns, any temperature below 8 below zero. The other thing that really drives this is the humidity. When we start getting those lower humidity values, these snowflakes tend to form more simply. So that's where we get those thin plates, the needles, the hollow columns. But when the humidity increases, more ice crystals start attaching to each other, so we get the more complex shapes of the stellar plates and the dendrites as well. But how does this compare to our snowfall totals? Of course, our winter weather awareness topic this week is snow ratios. So when we start getting those more big, the fat flakes, the more complex flakes, that's when we get those lower snowfall totals. More normal flakes like the hollow columns, stellar plates, that's around those more typical snows, around a 10-to-1 ratio. And then, of course, the small flakes, the really tight ones, they can accumulate pretty efficiently. We start to get those higher snowfall totals as well, above that 10-to-1 ratio. So thank you, Bill, for sending in your question. If anyone else has any question related to weather or science, please send them in to weather@kimt.com, and I'll be sure to talk more about any other questions you have in the coming weeks.
And here we have Hunter right here. That's interesting about all those different, honestly, the types. That needle, that was very, very unique.
It's very common that people think it's only the dendrites.
Right.
Because, I mean, they're the most pretty and the most picturesque, but no, there's needles, all of those. Thin plates, hollow columns, that's all forms of snow.